Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We've got another one here from Corgi in 1/72nd scale diecast. It is, yes, another Phantom. It's not a Hobby Master one though, it is a Corgi Phantom, so it is something still a little bit different. We have one here from VF-111, the Sundowners of course, and it is while this aircraft was aboard the USS Coral Sea in 1975. Now, our aircraft here is the personal mount of the CAG Dan Pedersen, as denoted by the double zeros, as you can see the markings on there. It also does have a sort of a personal marking on the tail there of the squadron tail marking. It has a rainbow strip, as you can see, that does denote that CAG aircraft. Now, of course, Pedersen was also instrumental in the creation of the Navy's Top Gun program and would retire from the Navy in 1983 after 30 years of service to his country. He also did publish a book in 2019 called Top Gun, An American Story, and that was probably going to be a very good read. I have not read the book, but hey, no need to talk about books when we've got a really nice model to check out. And of course, oh yes, a beautiful shark's mouth on this one. So hey, let us sink our teeth into this awesome looking model and see how good it actually is. All right, we'll open this up and check it out. All right, here we have the Phantom out of the box. Let us well, get the lid up. All right, so it does come with the usual stand, of course. That is metal, and this is plastic, and that does look pretty cool. It does come with a tank right there that you need to put on the aircraft, of course, and all the accessories in the side. Now, it does come with this Phantom already sort of set up. It does have that over there. We'll move this out of the way. Don't want the big blue packaging in the background. Ugh. Okay, it's got the notorious Corgi canopy. Yep, that's broken on the end of this. This is a second-hand purchase. These are notorious for breaking on the canopies. Those pins that are on either end there are pretty notorious for snapping off. So obviously this one has broken before, but we'll check out this little Corgi model and make sure it's all nice. It does look pretty good. The panel lines look pretty solid, nicely detailed. Got the nice two crew figures, at least we can sort of see in there nicely. There's not a lot of gauge detail in there, pretty much nothing, but the pilot detail is not too bad. That does look pretty cool. I always do like a shark's mouth. See the beautiful tail markings there. Turn it over. It's set up for in-flight, of course. That looks fantastic. Now, in-flight, well, put that tank right in there. Well, better put it the right way. And that is your tank. But of course, yeah, you know what I'm about to say. That's where your bloody stand goes, doesn't it? So you pull the tank out if you want to have it on the stand, because that is your stand hole. And that is your Phantom whacked on the stand. And that's how she's going to look. But you do want that canopy on there, so just quickly put that on there. And, well, you can't really move this too much around because that canopy is loose. But that is how your Phantom's going to look in flight. It is not a bad sort of offering from Corgi. I mean, I am a bit more sort of partial to the Hobby Master Phantoms, obviously. They are really nice, but this is, yeah, not too bad. I don't mind it at all. And generally, you can sort of get the Corgi Phantoms a little bit cheaper than the Hobby Master ones, but I reckon it does look nice. But we need to chuck this on gear down. So what we'll do is we'll quickly go off and do that and check that out. All right, we'll be back in a moment. Alrighty, here we have the Phantom set up for, well, gear down. As you can see, that rear canopy is extremely floppy because there's only one single pin that holds that into place, as you can see right there. So it does flop around a lot if you do move the aircraft around. Even this one doesn't slip into its spot properly because the canopy was a bit uneven when it was installed, so you couldn't push it in properly because there wasn't much room to squeeze the little tab for the canopy into its position. You had more room on the other side, so of course that one went on nicely. And then of course you had the front windscreen, which went on perfectly. That was fine. Doesn't really have any armoured coloured glass though on the front, so depending on your fuss level, of course. And of course, as soon as I turn this upside down, we were going to lose that rear canopy like that. So with the landing gear underneath, you just put your nose wheel, gear bay door, same routine there. There's a main wheel, and then you've got a little gear bay door there and there. Same on that side, and that is a job done. And of course, you can actually put your tank back into its position, rightfully so, underneath. One thing I need to say is that the undercarriage seems really fragile. It's like you sort of got to be really gentle with it when you're putting it on the ground, because you do not want it to sort of come off or break, or so we'll be very gentle on it. It is, yeah, very, very precarious sort of the way it sits. It's not as solid as the Hobbymaster one, definitely. One thing you do get is a cool little ladder. So if you like to have little accessories, how are we going to do this without knocking anything over? I'm assuming we just stick that like that, and there we go. Do we dare pick it up so you can get a good close look at it? Let's pick it up, and that's how the ladder is going to look, which is pretty cool. If you like your little accessories, that does add a little bit of realism to your aircraft. Now, as I mentioned about that landing gear, see that side just collapsed. Yeah, as you can see with the nose wheel there. As I said about that landing gear, it is extremely fragile. They don't go in very nicely. It just sort of sit there. They do feel very very light and plasticky. There's not much strength in that whatsoever. So if you're a little bit heavy-handed, you will definitely have some issues with this. All right, I'll take some photos of this though, and hopefully it won't fall down while I'm doing that. I'll throw them at the end, of course. Don't let this discourage you though. If you find one cheap enough, they're not too bad to sort of grab. They do present okay as long as they stay together and you don't move them around much. All right, as I said, I'll take some photos of this, throw them on at the end. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, throw me some of those. Not necessarily if you like the aircraft, but if you enjoyed the video at all in some way and found it helpful. Of course, if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button down there and drop a comment down there as well. If you've got one of these and if you have the same issues with yours, with the fitment of the landing gear and the fragility of that. All right, everyone. I'll finish up by thanking you for spending your valuable time, of course, watching another one of our videos. I hope you enjoyed this video in some sort of way. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.